Welcome to another episode of This Woman Works. I am your host, Mike Patton, and on this episode, we're going to do things just a little bit differently. On this episode, we have two guests on this episode, and we're going to learn about the Black Fashion Weekend in Nashville, in Nashville. But my first guest on this episode is someone that actually started the Black Fashion Week. And I'm not going to waste any time kind of going down the accolades because I want to learn more about the Black Fashion Week. And that would be Poppy T's. What's going on?
What's going on, Mike? I'm super excited to be on here. Just a little bit about the Black Fashion Week. I'm Poppy. I'm one of the owners. It's two of us, but we started this basically to give people who you don't typically see, right, in the fashion industry, the opportunities and the chances, kind of to level the playing field, right? We are the largest all-inclusive runway of the Southern American Hemisphere, which is a feat in itself because a lot of people don't know is the reason why we're actually in the South is, you can let history tell you why we decided to start in Tennessee in Nashville. But this year is our fourth year. So we'll be doing our fourth annual show on September 29th. And, it's just all about feel good culture, right? It's pretty much like your mainstream fashion weeks, like your New York Fashion Week, your LA Fashion Week, but specifically for the culture. And we don't have any type of discriminatory things that we vet models, designers on. We accept everyone. And that's our whole stance. And it's actually pretty big. About 70% of our network travels to Nashville for this event. So super excited. Nashville's becoming the next Black fashion mecca. So
Nice.
Super excited for that.
Nice. And again, my apologies for those that are watching the show right now. I'm going to do a little bit of editing, but I have the Black Fashion Weekend. It's supposed to be Black Fashion Week. I guess I got a little bit too happy on the keyboard when I was kind of putting things together. But where did the idea come from for the Black Fashion Week, just in general? Where did it come from?
So when I tell the story, I always tell it like, a photographer and a poet walked inside a bar. It sounds like the beginning of a bad joke, but truthfully, that was the start of it. I mean, so me and my partner, we would go to fashion shows just like as a pastime, right? Always really been into fashion, the culture, the arts. I'm a spoken word artist, so naturally always around creatives. And just going to these events, we started to realize, especially in Nashville, that you're probably going to see the same 10 models at every fashion show in Nashville. And they're all going to be the same size, same physique. And we were like, why are we not seeing other people, right? Because it's fashion. Fashion should be for everyone. Everybody wears clothes. And so we kind of just took that idea and just elevated it a little bit. Like, well, how can we bring this one to the city of Nashville, but also incorporate all these elements to make it a mainstream fashion week? Because there's certain things that you got to have. You got to have a high model count, right? You can't call yourself a fashion week with 10 models. uh, you got to have designers who fit the build of inclusivity, right? So you can't have designers who only cater to a specific type of person. You got to have designers who can pretty much dress. They have a catalog to where they could dress anyone. So it's a lot of different elements that we were planning when we first started this up 4 years ago. But the biggest one was to try to make sure that everybody was represented. So if you've never been to one of our shows in the past 4 years, there's no telling what you might see. You might see a person in a wheelchair. You might see a little person. You might see your grandma up there. I mean, anybody can be a model. And that's kind of what we stand on. Everybody has to go through an 8-week program. Monyea will tell you a little bit more about that when she hops on because she's currently going through that process. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. We just wanted something different for the city. And I'm not from Nashville, but my partner is. So I'm from a real small town, small mindset, So I've always had these big city aspirations, and then coming to Nashville and seeing the potential and nothing really just being correlated, we decided to do that. And super grateful because the city of Nashville has welcomed us, and we've had consistent sold out shows for the past 3 years. So just excited. Um, I guess I'll spill the bag, but we will be branching out to a different city in 2025. So not only
Ah,
Nashville, we will be doing another city as well. You got to stay tuned to see what city that will be. But yeah.
okay. All right. All right. We got a little breaking news. We got a little breaking news. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you kind of mentioned her name, and her name is Monyea, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the model we will be interviewing on this episode? Just a little bit about her, maybe her background, if you got
Well,
anything there.
well, I don't want to say too much. I really want to let her tell you about herself. But I will tell you, she is one of the models who is going through the virtual practices in the process. So our program is split. If you're local, you kind of get the in-person vibe. But if you're out of town, we still make it work, right? You still go to practices. She got to turn in homework. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole thing. But I don't want to say too much. I really want you to talk to her and get her story from her because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to, kind of ask a little bit, anything like that. But also want to ask too. You said you're from a small town.
Hmm.
Now is it a small town in Tennessee, or is it a small town somewhere else across the South
Well,
or North?
I say I'm from Jackson, Tennessee, but I'm actually from a smaller town outside of Jackson called Oakfield. Most
Okay.
people don't even know what that is.
I'm not aware of that one, but I do know some small towns in the Jackson area because I went to
Hmm.
college at UT Martin, so I
Okay,
definitely
okay.
I definitely know some
Oakfield is
small
like
towns out
North
there.
Jackson, between Jackson and Milan. It's literally probably like 4 or 5 miles long, like the town diameter itself.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm kind of imagining it's going the way of Lane, maybe a little bit north of Lane, probably. Am I
A
correct,
little
or am I a
go
little bit
a little
further
more
off?
further down Christmasville. You
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to imagine now because I hadn't been to Jackson in a minute, and
Lots of
I know these.
farms, lots
Oh
of
yeah.
farmland in the area that I basically grew up in. So once you get out of the city part, you start smelling horse-ish.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine now. I just remember riding down those roads. Let's see, coming from Martin down to Jackson for Lane Homecoming. I remember
Hmm.
coming down there for that, going to the parties at Lane, and then coming to find out it was a 21 and up party, and I couldn't get in. So literally, I'm just riding around Jackson
Oh,
while
you
some of my
couldn't get in?
teammates couldn't get in. So I'm literally riding around Jackson with one of my teammates, and we literally are just riding around Jackson. Went over to Lane, actually kicked it over at Lane for a hot sec. Well, did we kick it over at Lane for a little bit? I don't know. I can't remember all what we did, but yeah, we basically wasted time for about a couple hours and then went back over there because we were actually, I think, either riding with them or we drove or something. I don't know, but all of us were together. I know that, and we wasn't leaving back home, but together. So that's just how it was. So,
I
but
can't believe
yeah,
you couldn't
I
get
want to
in.
thank
Nobody ever
you.
checked my ID at a lane party.
Either we didn't think about it, or we didn't try. I don't know what happened, but we just did not get in that party. Yeah, man. I mean, that was thinking about it now. That's over like maybe, golly, that's over like 20 some odd years ago at this point. So yeah, I cannot remember all the details of that one. That was, it's some things you get older, you forget them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
but I want to thank you for coming on to kind of give everyone a little bit of background about the Black Fashion Week, not weekend, Black Fashion Week. So I just want to, Chris, thank you for giving that information. Thank you for providing a platform for people of all different backgrounds and and things like that, because it's very, very important that everyone is represented. And I mean, do you want to stay on as we talk, or do you want to drop off? It's totally upon you.
I might stay on. I won't say anything, but I'll definitely stay
All right.
on.
You want me to put you in the backstage, or you
Yeah,
want to
that'll
stay
work.
on the floor? Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna go hit a commercial break, everyone, and when we come back, we are going to bring on Miss Monyea on touring. Excuse me, I was about to say touring the ASC South, like I was talking about my other show. Well, we're on This Woman Works.
EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash are two of the best beard grooming products for men worldwide. They help promote growth, keep your beard moisturized and soft, and enhance your overall upkeep of your facial hair. And with the new promo code MPAFC10, you can get 10% off of these products. Just go to www.etsy.com/shop/EBO Beard Butter. Again, that's www.etsy.com/shop/EBO Beard Butter. And again, the promo code MPAFC10. Again, MPAFC10, where you can get 10% off any products except for beard boxes. So treat your beard better today by going to get these the EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash.
All right, and we are back on This Woman Works with your host, Mike Patton, and I am bringing in a model for the Black Fashion Week in Nashville. That would be Miss Monyea. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thank you again for coming on the show. And, Poppy kind of gave a little bit of the background of the Black Fashion Week in Nashville. So I kind of want to, go into, I guess, your story and kind of your journey to the Black Fashion Week in Nashville, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, like how I came about it.
Yeah, that, and then also kind of asking about you and getting to know you as well.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask about you kind of, I guess, growing up as well to kind of get to where we are now. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. So you're a Buckeye. Okay. All right. All right. So how was it growing up there? I know there's got to be a lot of people talking about Ohio State football and everything else and a lot of cold weather, right?
And that's big there, cold weather and Ohio State football. But other than that, it's small, family oriented, and that's about it. Yeah, people love football. My brothers, they grew up playing football, so I was around football a lot growing up.
Okay. All right. So it's a lot of football, a lot of cold weather, a lot of not saying M's in let's see, what, December or end of November probably. So
Cold, like so long. We have it stays cold until maybe April.
mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it doesn't start getting warm until May.
Oh, boy. I don't know if I could do all that. What exactly, I know now, you model, things like that, but what was the first thing you really wanted to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
I always said I was going to be a pediatrician.
Ah, okay. All right. So what kind of swung you in that direction?
What, a pediatrician?
Yes.
Just because I always grew up like taking care of my little cousins. I was always babysitting. I just loved being around kids. So I was like, I want to work with kids. And the first thing that popped in my mind was pediatrician at that time. So.
Got you. So yeah, definitely with me, I would say I probably wanted to be a football player because I played football growing up. And then let's see, the other thing was wanted to be a sports agent. Then I found out all the things that went into that, and I was like, no, we're not gonna do this today.
Found out how long it took to become a pediatrician. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I didn't.
Totally understand that because, good gracious, there's a lot of, let's say you got to go to school, you got to go to medical school, then you got to do a residency and by the time you finish school, you're gonna be almost 30.
Yeah.
You gotta really love it to do that. But nah, that's it. And then I also found about sports agent. I also found out you got to get license in all these different states and all that. I was like, yeah, no, that I ain't got time to do all that.
Yeah.
So you're obviously, of course, a model. So how did you kind of get into modeling or that avenue or arena?
So I always wanted to model, but growing up I was always shy, so I just never did it. But this manager hit me up on Instagram and he was like, "Have you ever done modeling?" I'm like, "No." And at first I thought he was like a creep. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about this. But as I went on, I was like, okay, he's legit. So, he got me my first photo shoot in Miami. I went there and I met like 3 other models it was supposed to be like 20 of us all together, but only 4, including me, showed up. So I had my first photo shoot in Miami and I was like, oh, I like this. So ever since then, I just stuck with it and wanted to continue doing it. And I got into doing runway shows and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to continue to do this.
Okay. All right. So definitely, something that you said you were always into. So when was like the first time you kind of got exposed to modeling in terms of when you were growing up to be like, okay, that's what I want to do?
So I never had that moment where it was like, this is what I want to do. But I was like at a grocery store, and this man like came up to me, gave me his card and asked if I ever did modeling, because I was always super tall, taller than all the other girls my age. And so he came up to me, but my dad at the time, he was like very strict, and he was like, oh no, you're not doing this. You're not doing it. So I just never had the chance. And then I would like call like different little agencies when I was still living in Ohio, found John Casablanca, but at the time I couldn't pay for it. So I was like, I don't know if this is the route I'm going to take. So I didn't pursue modeling, when I was younger, but as I got older, which now I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Got you. Okay. So for those that aren't aware, do you do any other things outside of modeling for like, career or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I'm actually a nanny and I am in school right now to become a teacher, English teacher.
Nice. So how do you kind of balance, the modeling and, the school and the career, the other careers that you have too, and other career aspirations?
I literally run around all day with like a chicken with its head cut off, like insane. But I love everything I do. So I just make it work. Like I just put in the work and I just do it.
Okay. All right. So, of course, with every model, there's always the first fashion show. So can you tell us about your first fashion show and kind of how that feel was like for you?
My first fashion show, I literally felt every emotion that I could feel. I was scared, I was nervous, I was excited. And when I got there, it was just like something out of a movie. I just didn't believe that I was there. I couldn't believe it. And just seeing everything happening in front of me, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I was so nervous and excited and everything. Like I got sick but I went up there and I did it. It was fun. I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do this. I liked it. Because like I said, growing up, I was always so shy. I never wanted to do anything. And so I was just happy that I pushed myself and that I did it. And it was fun.
Gotcha. So you kind of came out of your shell when you stepped on the stage. Okay. So what was what can you say was that quintessential moment where you knew in modeling you were where you were supposed to be?
I'm gonna have to say when I did my first photo shoot when I was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in front of the camera, I was just there. And then like watching all the other models do their pictures, I was like, this is so cool. Like I just couldn't believe that I was there doing it. So I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I went back home and that's all I kept thinking about was the photo shoot. And I was like, this is what I want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get a little bit more into your career in modeling. but we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit of maybe the difficult times and maybe some advice you may have for some that are trying to get into the business or thought about the business as well on This Woman Works.
A shift. A shift is something that happens and changes the dynamics. And that's what happened when Garrett Logistics was born. After 10 years as a sales pro in the logistics world of sporting goods, John Garrett decided to pivot to the world of freight and start a brokerage. So you're saying to yourself, why trust Garrett Logistics? Well, Garrett Logistics helps shippers improve overall workflow, along with increased on-time pickup and delivery percentages. Last-minute loads, multi-drop pickups, and more are part of the services with Garrett Logistics. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., all times Central Standard Time. So give them a ring at 615-400-8484. That's 615-400-8484, or you can email them at john@garrettlogistics.co or visit their website at garrettlogistics.co. Garrett Logistics, where the motto is, it's not just freight to us, it's your business.
All right, and we are back on This Woman Works with Monyea. It's greatly appreciated, giving your time to us for this episode. And like I mentioned before the commercial break, we're going to talk about some difficult times and maybe some advice you may have for someone that may be coming along in the business. Like with any business, of course, there's going to be issues or hiccups along the way. What was, one issue that you may have had or may have stumbled across in the business, during your time modeling?
Well, when I first started, I was signed with American, and like after the first photo shoot and everything we had, he wasn't taking my career as serious as I wanted him to. So I had to, end that, and then just branching off, doing everything on my own. It was harder than what I thought it was going to be. And just things weren't happening as I wanted it to happen. So I was a little down about that in my career. So.
Mm-hmm. So when that situation arose, how did you kind of push through that or kind of overcome those different moments where, hey, you felt like your career wasn't going the way you wanted to and you wanted to pivot to a different direction to, kind of steer your career the way you wanted it to be?
So I actually became close with some of the models that were trying to, it was still, they would just give me advice and just telling me like, you're a model. This is what giving me advice, telling me to keep going and don't stop. And so I always just stuck with their advice and I just went on.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you have for anyone that is actually looking to get into modeling or has thought about modeling, maybe as a career, or maybe it's something that they have just a passion that they have?
I would just say like, it's not easy. You have to put the work in and you have to, you're going to do it, put your all into it and don't take anything personal.
All right. And one thing I also want to stress as well is that everyone sees modeling as just pictures and things like that, but or just, walking somewhere and things like that. But there's so much more that goes into it that a lot of people don't understand or don't want to understand, I should say. Can you just stress the importance of, or some of the things that maybe people miss when it comes to modeling and that, are important to modeling as well?
Yeah, so I kind of had the same mind frame when I went into modeling. I just thought like, okay, pretty face, tall, boom, I got that. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get, booked for whatever I need to get booked for. But no, like just because you may have the model look, you need to show that you're a model. Like be the model. You need to have attitude, like show your attitude. Confidence is the main thing. And if you're not willing to put the work in, then it's not for you.
Got you. Okay. All right. And definitely want to thank you for your time in terms of giving points and tips for anyone that needs any advice, or also talking about the difficult times and how you kind of overcome those, because essentially you're going to be the one, essentially, this is for just everyone in general. You're essentially going to be the one that steers your career, not necessarily the person that is trying to help you steer your career. And when you feel like something isn't right, hey, you got to step up and say something, because it's you on the line, not that person behind you, backing you. Am I correct in what I'm saying here and what I gathered from what you told me today?
Right.
All right. Well, I want to thank you just for kind of giving us a little bit of your backstory. And I didn't ask as well, how did you kind of come about finding the Black Fashion Week in Nashville?
Yeah, so I stumbled across it on Instagram.
Okay.
Oh, how it came on my Instagram, but I just seen the post and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sign up for this.
Okay. And so how do you think the Black Fashion Week in Nashville has kind of helped you, or the things that they have provided helped you to become a better model, or to kind of dive more into the model world?
So from what I've noticed so far, they really show that they care. They care about, what they're putting out there, their brand, and they're willing to help with whatever. The communication is on point. Like everything is just so far so good.
Okay, awesome. Well, the Black Fashion Weekend is coming soon, Nashville. It's coming soon, Nashville, and folks in surrounding areas. Yes, you can fly in to Nashville and come to the Black Fashion Week in Nashville. Of course, with the podcast, I'm going to post out all the information with the dates and things like that as well. But I do also have one other segment for you, and it is 10 questions. It's a speed round, and it's getting people to know you just a little bit more. They're random questions. Are you ready? All right. So here we go. Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, it's between, okay, I'm gonna have to say Set It Off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Set It Off. Okay. Okay. All right. Favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant. There's this. I'm gonna have to say the restaurant here in Houston called Alicia's.
Okay. All right. Now, if I'm in Houston, I have to say Papados, because I'm just a sucker for the seafood.
That's
But
kind of overrated. But don't get me wrong.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. I got you. But I will mess with them though, for real though. But let's see. Worst movie of all time.
Worst movie of all time.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for people to say that one movie. I've not got it yet, but I'm waiting for people to say one movie, and I've not got it yet.
Worst movie. Think of one.
Mm-hmm. I can come back to it.
Yeah, come back to it.
All right, let me make a note real quick and come back to that. Okay. All right. You're having a biopic made of your life. Who plays you in that movie?
Who plays me?
Mm-hmm. Who's that? I'm sorry.
Megan Good.
Megan Good. Okay, cool. All right. Favorite actress?
Favorite actress.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
No, I'm thinking of her name.
Okay.
Angela Bassett. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of the Angela Bassett lovers that have come through This Woman Works podcast for sure. Best vacation spot in your opinion?
Oh. Well, my last vacation was Jamaica.
Okay. All right. Something no one else would know that you like to do.
No one knows that I like to
What's that?
paint.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I actually just did some painting about a couple weeks ago. So there we go. um, let's see. Your favorite song right now.
Um, it, it, I don't know if anyone knows her, but Kia Harper,
Okay.
and the song is it's literally like number.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to make a note of that. I'm gonna have to make a note, over here and write my notes down. Okay. All right. All right. Your favorite artist.
Favorite artist,
What's that?
Pink.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And best childhood memory.
Oh, I'm gonna have to say, it was my 7th birthday, I believe. My mom and my I was sleeping in my room. They came into my room and they decorated my entire room. And I kind of like woke up just a little bit because something like hit my eye and I like peeked open and I was so excited. And because I seen them decorating my room and I was so excited to wake up because I could.
Nice, nice. Now we're gonna go back to the worst movie of all time.
Worst movie. I still can't think of one, so I'm just going to say because I never think about.
What's that?
But I'm gonna say Batman because
Ah, okay. All right. I'm still waiting on somebody to say Soul Plane. I ain't had nobody say Soul Plane yet, and I'm waiting on it.
Soul Plane was a good movie. It was funny.
Ugh. Oh, I don't know. I be trying to like it, but I'm like, I don't know.
It was.
But I'm trying to give it a chance. I tried. What's that?
I don't think anyone's gonna.
Oh, I had a couple people was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that one," but yeah, you're right. I've had a couple people say that one. So, but hey, I want to thank you again for coming on to this episode. Can you tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, and thank you for having me too. You can find me on Instagram, Grant Monyea. You can also find me on TikTok at G_Monyea.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank Poppy for coming on. Talking about the Black Fashion Week in Nashville. Something Nashville is going to be eventually known for as well. So, I want to thank you all both for your time today. Of course, I'm the host of the show, Mike Patton. You can find me on Artist, formerly known as Twitter, at Mike Patton82. That's MikePatton82. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at that's THA, not THE, _general_NP. I want to thank you everyone for tuning in to This Woman Works. You can find it on YouTube as well at the Mike Patton Network. You can also find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. I want to thank everyone again for tuning in to this episode of This Woman Works. We're out. Peace.